ठीक है सर, माइक भी आपका ऑन है, आप इसको आगे करके बढ़ा दीजिए सर।
Okay, fine. All the best. Good evening, children. How are you?
Fine,
Evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, we had done 4 units from this. Unit 2, we did problem solving, depth first search, and all these things we did. Then we did Q8 queen and all that. Search evaluation metrics. Unit 3, uninformed and informed search we did. Depth first search and DFS आज भी उसमें भी कर रहे थे. बाई डायरेक्शनल भी करा था, ये जो दोनों तरफ से. A star algorithm भी करा था, and then proposition logic. Okay, so now first start predicate logic, we'll do that. This is simple from the calculus. That is first order predicate logic is defined there. So that is symbol constant, for example, John, variable x, y, function symbol, father of x, predicate symbol, for example, like x, y, logical connected quantifiers. So variable constant or functions applied to term, for example, fa, gxy. Atomic formulas, predicate applied to term, for example, px, r, f, function a, y, etc., etc. तो ये सारे इसमें लॉजिक ऑर्डर आते हैं, उसको आपने देखना है. So likes x, y, that is x likes y, and so on so forth. Father O of fx, so father of fx and all that. So will from the atomic formula using and or not implied and general this and essential. So everybody, every x are only one x and all that. Sentences formula with no free variables, all variables bound by quantifiers. So this is the basic concept of the basic syntax of the first order logic. Is it clear? Okay. Now this is the universal quantifier. All x px means phi x. Phi x holds for every element in the domain. All x, phi x, that means for all the. Example, all x, cat x, mammal x, all cats are mammal. देखो cat x, all x, there is a one cat x, which is mammal x, therefore all x are cat. Similarly, on this side come exceptional is single x. Fx means there is at least one element satisfying fx. Example, actually a y likes John y. There exists something that John likes. John likes y, which is one exceptional y, one y. Binding and scope, quantifier bind variable within their scope, variable renaming, alpha conversion, avoids clashes and all that. So that's the binding and scope of this. Semantic interpretation, domain of discourse, the set of all possible objects considered, for example, all people. Just 1 minute, let me comment को जरा डाउन करने दो. Sorry. Domain of discourse, set of all possible objects considered, for example, all people. Interpretation, assign meaning to symbol, each constant to a domain object, each function symbol to a function, each predicate to a relation over the domain. ट्रूथ ऑफ फार्मूला जो ट्रूथ टेबल बनाते हैं इसमें वो आप दिखेगा evaluated under an interpretation. A sentence is true if for that interpretation the formula holds. So example, given domain Alice comma Bob, interpretation where cat Alice is true, mammal Alice is true, for all x cat x mammal x would be true. So this is what the truth table, truth functions are there, atomic truth functions are there. Okay? Is it all right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay? You understand it?
Yes, sir.
Inference rules. For example, extend proposition rule with quantifier rules. For example, universal instantaneous from all x, px infer pa for any a, because it is valid, px is valid for all x, therefore pa is also valid for any a. For all x, human x, mortal x, and human Socrates deduce mortal Socrates instantiate all x and apply modus opponent. So that means Socrates is also mortal, because for all x, human x is mortal x. They are all mortal. And human Socrates, because Socrates is human, because that means it's the same as x, deduce mortal Socrates. So that means Socrates is also mortal. So this is automatic reasoning. Conversion to clauses and resolution can be used for first order logic, theorem proving complete but semi decidable in general. Application in AI, knowledge representation. Logic enables structured representation of facts, rules, and relationships, forming the basics of AI knowledge base. Expert system, there are, as you saw there in the early history, 1974, there was an expert system Mycene developed that was related to the medicine, drug, this and all that. This was done by computer scientist and doctor combined. They had the big data of the medicines and the ailment, and then user's interface, and then user. So user will speak in English or Hindi, which are language is prevalent or using it, and that is will be interfaced, converted into binary, and then it will go to the database, search that information from the database, and then come back and give the answer and go to the inference engine and then come to the user. तो उसमें तुम्हें मैंने बताया था कि कई users में भी some new things came up, and the doctors were very happy that they learned new knowledge out of this and all that. So natural language processing, अब जैसे as I told you earlier, Mr. Narendra Modi talks in Hindi or English, and that is converted into the various languages. G20 में भी ऐसा ही हुआ था कि people from various countries used to talk in their own language, and then that would be converted by natural language processing into the Hindi or English, and then our people will respond to that. Automated reasoning, care for systems that automatically derive new conclusions from existing knowledge using logical inferences. So these are the various applications of AI. That is a knowledge representation, उसमें expert system आता है, natural language processing आती है, automatic reasoning आती है. That's where even chess playing Gary Kasparov lost in 97 from the IBM Blue. So that again became the major publicity for AI. आज तो AI everywhere it is being used. Even adults want to know their sex relationship, their health relationship, their family relationship through the AI. They go to the chat board and ask for the various questions and they get the answers and they believe that answer. But वही है कि वो उसमें गलत आंसर अगर कोई हो जाएगा तो उसमें प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. जैसे supposing somebody is asking how to put a clothes and they also would say how to put off the clothes. So that type of thing. So now limitation and challenges of first order logic. So no general algorithm exists to prove or disprove all first order logic statements in finite time, making automated reasoning complex. So that's where the problem comes because it is undecidedly, because it is not able to decide the correct thing always. Expressiveness gaps. आज जो AI है is become much more active. जैसे अब विशाखापट्टनम में Google is starting $13 billion they are spending and opening a big AI thing. So they are in 5 years they will do lot of research. Lot of Indians will be employed there. So you guys learn AI, you will understand to get, and you will understand and write good projects on AI, and then you are likely to get good jobs there also. So that type of thing is most important. So expressiveness gaps. FOL struggles with representing uncertainty, temporal reasoning, defaults, and higher order concept. For example, properties of the price of the properties. It's not properties of properties, the price of property and all that. Computational cost, even for decidable fragments, inference can be highly computationally expensive, limiting practical applicability for large systems. Now, the supercomputers or even your basic laptops are quite powerful, so they can do it. But in 70s, 80s, 90s, computers were not that powerful to do all these things. But at the moment also that's there. Because that's where the future research looks into AI and quantum computing. Quantum computing is going to be most powerful supercomputers in the world. So that's where the quantum will be used for the tunneling effect of this. As I told you yesterday, 3 scientists got Nobel Prize last year on AI. They talked about reasoning and unreasoning or decidable thing or non-decidable thing of AI. And now this year, quantum tunneling effect, telecommunication वगैरह के लिए उनको Nobel Prize मिला है. So knowledge acquisition, translating real world knowledge into precise formal first order logic axiom is a difficult and time consuming. These are the limitations and challenges of it. So that covers up unit 5. So any question on that? So you will do truth table, all the type of thing. You will do and or implied or all these जो हमने term बताई हैं. V, ulta V, and then and not का ऐसा है. Just a line with the down blow and so on and so forth. Okay, now rule-based system and other formation. This is expert systems are rule-based system. So this is, for example, knowledge-based inferences and working memory. This is a important thing. Knowledge-based is important. Inference engine is important because inference engine converts your language into binary bits, and that goes to knowledge base to search and all that. It also goes to working memory. So that's where the process goes. This is the basic concept of the expert system. They are a rule-based system and other formalism. So for example, production rule-based system structure is set of if-then rule, condition action, plus a working memory of facts. There is a knowledge base कि जहाँ माइसन में मेडिसिन का नॉलेज बेस था और डिजीजेस का नॉलेज बेस था. Inferences then applies rules to facts to infer new facts or activities. Forward chaining, data driven, backward chaining. There are two processes. There is a forward chaining and backward chaining. Forward chaining में क्या होता है? Start with known facts, fire any rules whose antecedent matches the facts, repeat until goal. Backward chaining में you know the rule, the goal. So from the goal you come back to the input so that you have the input which is related to the goal. Start with the hypothetical goal, work backward by finding rules that conclude the goal and prove their antecedents. So these are the forward chaining and backward chaining, both are the important methods. So example, expert system, medical diagnosis, if fever and headache, then possible meningitis. Given symptom facts, rule infer possible disease. So it's a meningitis, meningitis is the disease if fever and headache both are there and all that, and then blood rashes are there, give symptom facts, rules infer possible disease. So transparent reasoning, easy to encode expert knowledge as rules. So this is the production system components, that is knowledge base, working memory, control strategy, modes. So that's a stores rule, if and then, and initial facts, dynamic list of known facts updated by inference, decide which rule to fire next, manages the rule conflicts, because there are various rules, how the rules go according to that. Forward chaining and backward chaining, again, same thing which we talked about it. So that either go from the initial state to the goal or from the possible goal to the initial state and all that. So that type of thing there. So semantic network and frames. Semantic network, these are the graph-based KR nodes represent concepts, objects, edges represent the relationship. For example, is a, has part. Example, cat is a animal, cat has tail. Sports inheritance, for example, properties of animal propagates to cat via is a. ये जो is dash a इससे follow करता है. Frame, data structure for stereotype knowledge about an entity. Slots, attributes with values are default value. Inheritance frames can be organized in hierarchy. For example, frame vehicle with slot wheel and car inherit from vehicle. So useful for object-oriented knowledge and modular representation. So this is the semantic network and frame. That is semantic network क्या होता है और frame क्या होता है, इसका application देख लीजिए. So that's the type of thing. Scripts and ontologies. There are scripts are there, structured representation of procedural knowledge, typical event sequence. Example, for example, restaurant script. Script provides context for understanding and predicting sequences. On ontology, formal specification of concept and relationship in a domain, often built as rich semantic network with class hierarchy and axiom, used to ensure shared understanding. For example, WordNet is a lexical ontology. So these formalism provides high-level conceptual and relational structure for AI system. So these are the script and ontology. We talked about the script and frame, script and ontology. So that's it. These are, we finished the unit 6. Any question on unit 6? These are the rule-based system, that is the expert system on generally on this basis. There are object-based system also. There's basically most expert systems are rule-based system. There's the diagram you was shown in the beginning. This is the rule-based system. So that's the knowledge-based inference engine. Memory, working memory को inference engine से, तो ये user से. So now comes probabilistic reasoning. Reasoning under uncertainty. Uncertainty in AI system often face uncertain or incomplete information. So probability theory provides tool for reasoning about uncertainty. How much uncertain you are. So what is the probability of your success? Is it 10% or 90% or 95%? How this? So that's the uncertainty kitna hai, certainty kitna hai. Belief representation are represented as a probabilistic confidence level over hypothesis. Hypothesis में आपका confidence कितना है? 80% chances you will be successful. Or 50% chances are you are successful, 50% chances are you will be failure. So then you have to be very careful. You have to apply another reasoning so that you go from above 50% success to this. Bayesian approach, update belief based on evidence using Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem से जो approach होता है उससे करते हैं. So these are the uncertainty in AI, probabilistic theory, brief representation, and Bayesian approach. Then Bayes theorem क्या होती है? This is PAB is PBA into PA upon PB. That is P oblique B is equal to PB upon this into PA upon ऐसे कट जाता है. So according to the thing, it shows that PA oblique B is given by this relationship. This is the Bayes theorem. Allows computing the probability of hypothesis given evidence by combining the likelihood with the prior. So this likelihood with the prior information is important. Interpretation क्या है? Invert conditional probability. For example, given test results, compute disease probability. माइसन में disease probability निकाली जाती थी. Application used in diagnostic spam filtering. अगर email or spam करना है, and anywhere we infer causes from effect. So these are the Bayes theorem applied and all that. Bayesian network, the belief network क्या है? A Bayesian network is a probabilistic graphical model representing random variables and their conditional dependence as a directed egg-like graphic. So that's a structure is node is equal to variable edges indicate direct dependence, causal influence. Parameter each node has a conditional probability table given parent nodes. Inference given evidence observed variable update probability of other variable via belief propagation. Example, a simple BN difficulty grade intelligence indicate grade depends on difficulty and intelligence. So the its implied grade is the intelligence implied grade, difficulty implied grade, intelligence implied grade because it's implied. To indicates grade depends on difficulty and intelligence. So both grades is how difficult the problem is and how intelligent you are. So that's the type of thing. Naive Bayes classifier. So this is independence assumption assumes features are conditionally independent given the class. Classification is P C X1 to Xn and PC is the pi product of PXI. So effectiveness is despite the naive independence assumption, it's effective for tasks like text classification, for example, spam detection. From email में spam लगाना है. Training estimate PX oblique C for data, classify by computing the posterior, that is PC by X. PX1 by C को PC by X we करना. So that's what classification and training is done and all that. So this is name-based classifier. So that's the effective done and all that. This is the hidden Markov modes. This is handle sequential data, speech, text, bioinformatics with state transition and output probability. So Markov dynamic process is like this. So it Markov decision process is extend probabilistic reasoning to decision making over time with reward beyond scope time. The key idea is probabilistic methods quantify uncertainty, complementing logical. Because AI may most important thing is AI never gives. We don't think it gives 100% result, but we have to say how best it can. It can give 80% accurate, 90% accurate, 99% accurate, all this. So that's the type of thing because जो results are, they are all the probabilistic models are there. So Markov chaining, these are again talking more probabilistic, more statistical thing and all that. So that's where the fuzzy and upset we'll do now. You know what is fuzzy set? Fuzzy क्या होता है?
Not so, sir.
Fuzzy क्या होता है? What is the fuzzy? A person is beautiful, a person is handsome, a man is handsome, girl is beautiful. Who is most beautiful? How beautiful she is? Is Deepika Padukone more beautiful than Aishwarya Rai? Who is more beautiful? Sumita Sen. So who is more beautiful? So each one is given numbers. That is, I am. If there is anybody who is more than 5 feet 4 inches, he is considered tall. But tallness is small. But a person like Khalil, who is 7 feet, he is really tall. So he will get probably 0.9, 0.99. Whereas I am 5 feet 8.5 inches, I'll get probably 0.88, something like that. If somebody is 5 feet 2 inches, he will get negative because he is not tall at all. So that type of thing is the fuzzy logic. So fuzzy and rough sets. That is rather than simply talking of anything, it is talk between 0 and 1. So this is 1 or 0. So that type of thing is fuzzy logic. So fuzzy set is set where elements have degree of membership between 0 and 1 represented by membership function AX, mu AX. Fuzzy set is universal X, uh, mu AX, X uh, belongs to U, where mu AX belongs to 0, 1. So, therefore, curve, for example, triangle, trapezoidal, mapping each X to this degree of belonging. Fuzzy logic use fuzzy sets to reason with imprecise concept. For example, temperature is hot, might be 0.8 true. अगर टेम्परेचर 45 डिग्रीज हो गया है तो इसमें 0.9 हो जाएगा. अगर 50 डिग्रीज हो गया है तो 0.95 हो जाएगा. अगर 40 डिग्री है तो 0.8 हो जाएगा. सो ऑन सो दैट. So a fuzzy set tall person might assign mu is 0.9 to height 6 feet, mu is 0.2 for 5 feet. So mu is 0.95 for 6, 7 feet, because Khalil is 7 feet. Somebody may be even more than 7 feet also. So that type of thing is the one which is given as the fuzzy set. A short person gets a smaller number, higher person gets more bright person. Supposing we say Einstein was 0.9, the normal person is probably 0.5 or 0.4 or something like that. So that type of thing is a fuzzy logic. आ जाता है. Is it clear what is fuzzy logic is there? Hello?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Not clear.
It's
Now,
clear, sir.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल somebody is हम हाइट को लेके चल रहे हैं फजीलेट से. somebody is 7 feet tall, somebody is 6 feet tall, somebody is 5 feet 8.5 inches tall, somebody is 5 feet tall. तो क्या कहेंगे आप क्या कौन सा किसको टॉल बताएंगे? तो 7 feet वाले को टॉल बताएंगे जो 6 feet वाले को टॉल बताएंगे. So you have to give the fuzzy stat of the tallness. That is, Khalil is 0.95, or the person who is 6 feet 2 inches, he is probably 0.89, something like that. So that type of thing is there that talks about this. Similarly, intelligent. If Einstein is given 0.95, so ordinary person is given 0.5 or something like that. So that type of thing is there. Let us say example here. Fuzzy rules, if then rules with fuzzy predicate. For example, if temperature is high, then fan speed is fast. Uh, let's go back. If temperature is इंडिया में टेम्परेचर राजस्थान में 50 डिग्रीज हो जाता है 50 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड then it is really high, so it goes to 0.9. But if it is 45 or 42 or 38, then it becomes, and when it becomes 0 degree, then it becomes then heat day cold का कहिएगा 0 डिग्री में कोल्ड बहुत हो जाएगा अगर -30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड हो जाता है जो कि ले में और अंटार्कटिका में होता है तो बहुत वो हाई लेवल पर हो जाएगा तो फजी विल बी 0.95 समथिंग लाइक दैट कोल्ड विल बी 0.95 so that type of thing which happens which is so therefore shorter the taller this more beautiful the most beautiful or less beautiful and then handsome most handsome still more handsome and so on and so forth so that type of thing these are the fuzzy membership functions all these are related to this okay fuzzy rules ho gaya if then for example if temperature is high then fan speed is fast rule evaluation evaluate rule antecedent using membership degree combine fuzzy and uh, and by a minimum or by a maximum, etc., to get rule firing strength. Rule aggregation, aggregate output of all rules, for example, fuzzy or defuzzification, converting fuzzy results to a crisp output, for example, complete weighted average. Application fuzzy controllers, for example, thermostat, washing machine, handle imprecise sensor data, अगर न्यूक्लियर का मशीन है तो ऑल दी थिंग्स आर यू विल सी अगर किसी को न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी में जाना है तो इट्स वेरी वेरी हाईली क्वेश्चन यू हैव टू कवर फुल्ली एंड ऑल दैट अगर कोविड में हम किसी के मिलने जाते थे किसी बीमार को तो अपनी पूरा कवर करके जाते थे दैट टाइप ऑफ थिंग विच इज देयर रफ सेट थ्योरी रफ सेट फॉर्मल है आप लोग फजी सेट समझे को नहीं पहले फजी सेट का बताइए
yes sir
क्वेश्चन और फजी सेट
no sir वो तो मैं समझ गया
समझ गए हो
yes sir
एवरीबॉडी एनी गर्ल
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay fine so therefore now rough set theory it's introduced by Pavlak deals with uncertainty without needing probability or membership degree. Lower approximation set of all elements definitely in target set based on available attributes. Upper approximation set of element possibly in the target set. Boundary region elements in the upper but not in the lower approximation represent ambiguity. Indiscriminable relation object indistinguishable by known attributes are grouped equivalences and all that. So data analysis and rule extraction where data is imprecise, for example medical diagnosis with incomplete information. अगर आपके अब तो देखो पहले तो डॉक्टर खाली हाथ को नर्व से ही सब कुछ पल्स से सब कुछ करता था अब तो एमआरआई है अल्ट्रासाउंड है एक्सरे है all these things are there with all these things able to correlate the result very very frequently so that उसपे आप जो अल्ट्रासाउंड करते हो उसको प्रॉपर एनालिसिस भी कर सकते हो बिकॉज उसमें क्या है कैसा है उसमें क्या चीज है all these things are now possible with AI lot of things are happening with AI so that people are able to determine what are the diseases possible and all that. Fuzzy versus rough set. So fuzzy set handles vagueness by graded membership, partial membership based on Membership function requires expert knowledge, deals with imprecise boundaries. Rough set handles certain uncertainty by approximation, crisp boundaries, in and out unknown, based on indiscriminability relations derived from data, deals with incomplete information. So that's the key differences. Fuzzy set need membership function, expert knowledge. Rough set drives boundaries from data. Both provide tools for reasoning when classical true false is too strict. That's why it is represent between 0 and 1, all the things. Course summary. Pattern solving and search, state space search, uninformed and informed algorithm, breadth first search, BFS, depth first search, A star, and game playing strategy. Knowledge representation, proposition, and first order logic, rule based system, semantic network, and ontologies. Reasoning under uncertainty, probabilistic reasoning, Bayes theorem, Bayesian network, and naive based classifiers. Fuzzy and rough set handling imprecision with fuzzy logic and incomplete information with rough set. Key takeaway: AI combines multiple approaches, logical reasoning, probabilistic methods, and approximate reasoning to build intelligent systems that can handle real world complete complexity and uncertainty. See, that's how you find. I'll be showing you the fuzzy that robo Sophia, and showing how the robo is being manufactured and how the robo is able to talk to 30 different languages. It can talk in Hindi, English, German, French, and she wants to fly so that she can reach the moon. So that type of thing is important. So great. AI is expanding so fast that we think वैसे तो हमेशा ही होता है when industry came up we thought people will lose this or these horse riders, this cart people, bullock cart people, all will lose their job. But they have started with the tractors, and from tractors they have gone to the cars. From the cars they have gone to the aircraft. From aircraft they have gone to drones. From all the things are happening. People get more and more jobs, but different type of job. बिकॉज अब जो 1950 1960 में जो बैलगाड़ी चलाता था ही इज मेकिंग ही इज मूविंग ट्रैक्टर्स एंड टेकिंग ऑल हिज गुड्स इन ट्रैक्टर्स जो अब वो ट्रैक्टर चलाता है तो कल को पता नहीं और क्या अब ड्रोन से भी सामान जा रहा है कई चीजें से हो रहा है ऑल टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग so देखिए drone suddenly came as a marketing tool but has become defense and offensive purposes. Defense के लिए भी use होता है, offense के लिए भी use होता है. So it has become more like missile. एक आप drone भेज दीजिए और it may bombard anywhere and all that. So that type of thing. So that covers introduction to machine learning method, which is important for big data that we'll do next time. That is next Saturday. Okay. So up to 8 we will do it. Rest we'll do next. So introduction to machine learning method we'll do next, and that will be also talking on big data. There also machine learning will be talking because that's how the computer fix up the various statistical regressions and all that by the complete knowledge of the data. So, and then training data is used, and then on actual data, the results are used. So, but training data must be good sample of the whole world data, so that training data should not be only isolated for some other thing, so that then the results will be wrong. That we'll do next time. So up to 8th unit we have done. So any questions on that 8th unit? Then we'll go to your book and after few minutes, it is 1:47. So can we do at 2 o'clock? We'll do. आप लोग इसको you can go through this, and then at 2 o'clock we will start with your book. Okay,
Sure, sir.
all the best. Hmm? Hmm.
नीचे देखो जरा कहाँ पैर रखे घर देखो सारा कचरा मार दिया आपने पूरा पूरे घर में आपको आई भी नहीं है
तुम पंखा चला
तमीज से रहो यार घर में आप नीचे नीचे देख के करो नीचे भी तो देखो ना ऊपर ही ऊपर देखते हुए चले अंधेरा क्या है
कर दो बेटे अब
हेलो
हाँ do it now. So children, you are ready. This is the same thing which was done in the PPT. Syntax of first order predicate logic FOPL, interpretation of FOPL, semantic quantifiers, inferences and entailment in FOPL, conversion to causal form, resolution and unification. So this is the unit 5 that which we did. Every man is mortal, Raman is mortal, hence she is mortal. देखो every man is mortal हमने करा था existential X mortal that fellow is human, so human is mortal. So every man is mortal, Raman is a man, hence he is a mortal. So that's what all men are mortal, therefore Raman is a man, therefore he is also mortal. ये हो गया P एक सिंबल आ जाएगा PQR to denote the statement given every man is mortal, Raman is a man, Raman is a mortal. Once the statement in the argument in English are symbolic, symbolized to apply tools of proposition logic, we have just three symbols PQR available with us and absolutely no link or connection to the original. In propositions, there is no way to conclude the symbol R from symbol P and Q. However, as we mentioned earlier, even the natural language, the conclusion of the statement denoted by R from the statement denoted by P and Q is obvious. Therefore, we search for some symbolic system for reasoning that helps. So that's what first order practical logic is the most well-known symbolic system for the purpose. So objective, they explain why FOPL is required over and above programming logic and all these things. That's the syntax of first order predicate logic. This is is symbol used for existential quantifier, and this is used for universal quantifier for all, and this is for one. Let us understand the difference through some more this function predicate. In a variable x is a syntax px involving x that becomes proposition when we give x a definite value from the active value it can take. We usually denote such function px, q, etc. The set of value x can take called the universe of the discourse. For example, if px is x is greater than 5, then px is not a proposition. But when we give x particular value, say x is equal to 6 or x is equal to 0, then we get proposition. Here p6 is true proposition and p0 is a false proposition. Similarly, qx x has gone to Patna, then replacing x by Taj Mahal gives us a false proposition. अगर हम personal X has gone to Patna and then we say it gone to Taj Mahal, that's a wrong, false proposition. Okay. So these are the various quantifiers that exist and all these things. These are we have mathematical symbol for quantifier. All X belong to you, Q, this and all that. So all these X is one. So all these you can see the examples, and from there you can find the results there very clearly. For example, for X belongs to n, X is 1 by is equal to which is read as there exists an X in n for which X minus half is equal to 0. So that type of the example is. Interpretation in every man is mortal. Raman is a man, hence he is immortal. That's it. He's mortal and is a man. Let's use the notation. There you go. IL is mortal and IN is man. In view of the notation, the argument or paraphrasing becomes for all X, if IN X, then IL X. IN Raman, hence IL Raman. Or more generally, relation of the form greater than xy, denoting the phrase x is greater than y, is a brother of xy. X is brother of y between x, y, z, denoting the phrase that x lies between y and z, etc., etc. The x, y are brothers, x, y, z. X is tall, y, z, it lies in between, and so many things are there. So that is explained with the argument of function predicate is a mathematical concept different from logical argument. Similarly, we can represent x like y, we predicate like xy. Then Ram like Mohan can be represented by like Ram, comma Mohan. Similarly, father of x is to mean father of x. The statement Mohan's father loved Mohan. So ये हो जाएगा love father of Mohan, Mohan. That is father of Mohan loves Mohan. ये हो गया पहला father of Mohan आ गया, then Mohan आ गया. So love. Like Ram Mohan, love father Mohan. Father of Mohan loves Mohan. देखो पहले फादर मोहन में ब्रैकेट है, वो ब्रैकेट खोलो, फादर ऑफ मोहन, देन loves whom, second one Mohan. These are the symbols we have talked about, like operators, implied this and or, like our predicate symbols and all that. The individual symbols are constant symbols. These are usually names of objects such as Ram, Mohan, number 3, 5, etc. Variable symbols, these are usually lowercase substitute like x, y, z, x1, y1, z1, etc., etc. Function symbols are FGH, and there are usually exercise letters like PQR. Lowercase letters such as greater than is tall, etc. These are the. A variable is a term, a constant is a term. If f is a place function symbol and t1 to tn are term, then ft1 t1 is a term. Any term can be generated only by application of rules given above. For example, since y and 3 are both term and plus is a two-place function symbol, plus y3 is a term. So y plus 3 is a term. So because plus is defining there. So जहाँ है plus within bracket plus y3 comma y, that is plus y plus 3 y, वो जो उसमें फिर उसमें जमा करें. And father Mohan are the term, the farmer y plus 3 plus y, and the later denotes the grandfather of Mohan. That is father of Mohan. Father of Mohan's जो father becomes grandfather of Mohan. ये बन गया y plus 3 plus y. So that's 3. तो ऐसे ही सारे एग्जाम्पल हैं, तो आप देख लीजिए. Either retorted project closure or separate from an implicit predicate and all. In order to symbolize the following statement, there exists a number that is rational. Every rational number is a real number. For every number x, there exists a number y which is greater than x. So let's denote x is a rational number by qx. So x is a real number by Rx, and x is less than y by less xy. Then above statement will be symbolized respectively as for existential x, qx, for universe x, qx belongs to Rx. Then all x, 1y less xy. Each of the expression 1, 2, 3 is called formula or a well-formed formula or WFF. Semantic and quantifier, a proposition, function or predicate in a variable x is a sentence px involving x that becomes proposition when we give x a definite value. So on. All these are simple example. If you just go through that, you will find it's a very clear. These are clear examples of the scope of occurrence of quantifier. ऐसे ही उसका वेल फॉर्म फार्मूला बनाने आते हैं, that the questions are asked. For all x, man x, mortal Raman, वो सारा बार बार उसी चीज को रिपीट करे जा रहे हैं, because that is a most important decision which has been taken by AI. If let px x is odd natural number, qx x is even natural number. Thus, left hand side of third px or qx is not equal to for all x px or all x qx. So that type of thing. So the left hand side third of state, for every natural number it is either odd or even, which is correct. But right hand side or third state that every natural number is odd or even natural number is even, which is not correct. Next, left hand side of fourth state, there is a natural number which is both even and odd, which is not correct. However, right side of fourth state, there is an integer which is odd and there is an integer which is even, correct. So equivalence involving negative quantifier, all these repeated. Then you continue example this and all that. These are the example given. You can go through the example. Inferences and entailment in FOPL. In this, you can read that. Every man is mortal, Raman is man, and all these things. These are examples. They are universal initiation. The rule, universal initiation for all x, px or pa. That's the rule. Then universal generalized rule is pa for all a, all x, px. Then existential rule is for each, for one x px pa. बिल्कुल वही रूल बन गया ये. यूनिवर्स एक्स की जगह एक्सटेंशियल एक्स लगा के पी एक्स इक्वल टू ए, कोई सेम रूल बन गया। ये उल्टा भी वही रूल बन गया। So these are the various rules which you have to know and use it. Application of 12 inference rules, 8 of proposition logic, 4 involving quantifier, ये सारे concept, ये सारे बताए हुए हैं, you can see that. If you have some doubt, you can ask me. I'll be able to be help. Conversion to casual clausal form. ये जो first step toward the clausal form is to begin with the Prenez normal form PNF, and second step is Skolmanization, so which will be discussed after PNF. पहले PNF देख लो. It is a broad sense. It relates to realignment of the quantifiers. The use of Prenez form or formula simplifies the proof procedure to be discussed. Say, for example, a formula G in FOPL is said to be PNF if and only if the formula G is of this form. Q1x1 to Q1xp. So similarly, example of formula predex normal form is 1x universe y rxy or qy all x all y pxy implies sy. So उसका ये reduce होके ये हो जाता है. Transferring the following formula into predex normal form, फिर सारा explain करा हुआ है, that you can go through. This column function लगा के there are various exercises, resolution and unification, that also you can go through. So love x, y, love x, all these are correlated. Not love x, y, love x, fx, not love x. So all these are simple processes which have been explained. These are some examples which you have to solve. So if you look for a book, the latest is because मैंने शुरू करा था 2000 में रिच एंड नाइट की किताब से, ये सेकंड जो बुक है. But Patterson's book has come, and then there's a book, Irving and Carl's Introduction Logic, 9th edition. But, I have not read it. But this book, Rich at Night, it was published in 93, was done by. That was also, she has done good work on this. Rule-based system and other formalism. So forward chaining, backward chaining, conflict resolution, semantic net, frame, script, वो सारे हमने डिस्कस कर लिए हैं. knowledge-based system, intelligence, behavior can be this and all that. First order logic, semantic network, frame, script, rule based system, हमने expert system करा है. So these are all the if then rule बताया हुआ है. If A is animal, A barks, then A is dog, and so on and so forth. Advantage of rule based system आप देख लीजिए. Working memory, all these things. If patient has symptom S1, S2, S3, and S4, and certain background condition T1, T2, T3, then the patient has disease D6 with certainty 0.5, 0.75. That is where we talked about certainty and uncertainty in the AI, which is very important. So you mentioned this is with certainty 0.75. Forward chaining system आपने करा है, backward chaining करा है. Backward chaining system that we talked about it. Radha has hair, Radha has big mouth, Radha has long pointed teeth, defect, Radha has claw. So the existing set rules are that it's a mammal and it is a cheetah. Cheetah है कुछ और है. Black strip. Then now to start the process, let's take the initiative. Radha is a lion and then reason about whether this happens. So okay, Radha is lion. Conflict resolution भी करा हमने. Then add to working memory defect working with RAM. If day Monday, then add to working memory defect talking to RAM, and so on. So semantic that we हमने करा है. That is, for example, in this particular case, there is a important case that Nita is object, garden is a place, and time is last week, and stuck. That who was the agent? Mohan was the agent. What was the instrument? Knife, and which is sharp. Sharp knife was stuck to Nita last week in garden. So that's what the complete diagram happens. Mohan struck Nita in the garden with a sharp knife last week. So that's all the so that all these aspects are symbolically represented here. मोहन एजेंट है और स्ट्राइक करता है नाइफ शार्प से. कहाँ पर? लास्ट वीक, प्लेस गार्डन. किसको करा? नीता. So that's the type of thing, semantic network. फ्रेम्स भी हमने करा है. सब क्लास, eating habit, size, mammal, carnivorous, mammal, warm-blooded animal, yes. Raja, instance, color, owner, lion, dull yellow, Amar, circus. Sheru, instance, lion, size, small, so on. Script भी हमने करा है. Script is the structure representing the stereotype sequence of event in a particular context. Event had to occur in known run-off pattern. A causal relationship between event exists. An entry condition exists which allows an event to take place. Prerequisite exists upon event taking place. So all this. So transfer a relationship. A-tran, P-tran, transfer physical location. Propel, apply physical. This all these are used as a scripts and all that. If you have script for going to bank to withdraw money, script is withdraw money, track bank, drop propositive money, counter this and all that. So that P turn P to bank, P attend I to E, P move P to E, scene 2, filing form, PM run, signal to E, pattern form to P, form for writing this and all this. Withdraw money, eyes to counter, queue at the counter, token to see, and so on. So these are the type of thing which we have only read. And I think Patterson's book and Rich and Knight book are the most useful books. There are other books also, but then probabilistic reasoning हमने भी कर लिया है, probability theory, Bayesian theory, and all that. So that again you can go through and can probability is between and objective understanding this and all that, reasoning with uncertain information, review of probability theory. So all these uncertainty principle, all these things ये देखिए figure 1A, 1B यहाँ ये है. So this is the intersection. Conditional probability, independent events. तो ये सारा आप पढ़ लीजिए. You will find whatever we have done, Bayesian theory, Bayes network, probability inference, and basic idea of inference with Bayes and all that. Other paradigm and Dempster-Sheffer theory, ये देख लीजिए. Let us know. Discuss mathematical theory based only on evidence known as Dempster-Sheffer DS theory, given by Dempster and extended by Sheffer in mathematical theory of evidence. This uses a belief function to combine separate and independent evidence pieces to quantify the belief in a statement. The Dempster's and Sheffer theory is a generalization of Bayesian probability theory, where multiple possible events are assigned probabilities opposed to mutually exclusive segments. So multiple possible events are permitted to assign probability. These events should be exhaustive and exclusive. Here, the multiple sources of information assign some degree of belief and then aggregated using the DS theory. All these things are there. But in the evidence, there are events related to this and all these things. So DS theory, we have 4 types of evidence as follows: consumer consonant evidence, consistent evidence, arbitrary evidence, disjoint evidence. These are basically appearing in a nested structure where each subset is included in the next biggest subset and so on. Consistent evidence, this ensures the presence of at least one common element to all subsets. These are and disjoint evidence, there is no subset having common this. All these 4 types can be understood by looking at the figure 2A to D. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. These are the figures which are this is arbitrary evidence, consistent evidence here, A, B, C, D, E, D, or arbitrary evidence, disjoint evidence here. This is A, B, C, D. Frame of discernment, brief function, plausible function, rule of combination. फजी या रफ सेट जो हमने बाद में करा है, तो फजी सेट क्या बताता है? Early unit discuss PL and FPL, but now we said fuzzy system that attempt to handle imprecision in knowledge bases, especially due to use of natural language words like hot, good, tall, etc. We discussed non-monitoring system, which deals with indefiniteness of knowledge and the knowledge base. The significance of this system lies in the fact that most of the statements in the knowledge base are actually based on belief of the concerned persons or actor. These beliefs get revised as better evidence for this. So, for example, subsequently we will discuss 2 formal systems that attempt handle incomplete traceability. These systems are called default reasoning system and closed world assumption system. So finally, we discuss some inference rules, abductive inferences and inductive inferences. So these are the various objectives. Water fuzzy system. So if the water is too hot, add normal water to make it comfortable for taking a bath. In the above statement, for a number of words, phrases include too hot, add, comfortable, etc. It is possible to tell when exactly water is too hot, when water is at normal temperature, when exactly water is comfortable to take bath. For example, we cannot tell the temperature T such that for water at temperature T or less, truth value false can be associated with the statement water is too hot, and at the same time truth table true can be associated with the same statement. Water is too hot when the temperature of the water is, say, at degree T plus 1, T plus 2, etc. For some other case, fuzziness is a natural language. Healthy person. We cannot even enumerate all the parameters that determine health. Further, it is even more difficult to tell for what value of particular parameter one is healthy or otherwise. कैसे कहोगे वो 100% health है? Old and young person. It's not possible to tell exactly up to exactly what age one is young, and just addition of one day at the age one becomes old. We age gradually. Age is continuous process. Sweet milk. Add small sugar cube one at a time to glass of milk and go on adding up to say 100 small cube. Initially, without sugar, we may take milk as not sweet. However, with the addition of each one small sugar bottle, the sweetness gradually increases. It's not possible to say that after addition of 100 small cubes of sugar, the milk becomes sweet until addition of 99 small cubes, it was not sweet. So पूल पॉन्ड लेक सी एंड ओशन, एक पूल है, एक पॉन्ड है, एक लेक है, सी है, ओशन है, कौन सा बड़ा है? Exactly, pond becomes the lake and so on. So all these are reasons. So dinosaur ruled the earth for a long period, about million years. It has not rained for a long period of time. I had to wait for the doctor for a long period. So all these are fuzzy theory. So let us recall the case of crossing a road discussed in Unit 1 of Block 1. We mentioned that knowing the distance of various vehicles from the path to be आप क्रॉस कर रहे हो रोड को, तो कैसे क्रॉस करोगे? तो यू विल सी किस स्पीड से गाड़ी आ रही है और किस स्पीड से तुम जा रहे हो. Knowing the velocity and acceleration of the various velocity moving on the road within a distance of say 1 kilometer. Using Newton's law of motion, they are derivative like S is equal to ut plus half at square, and calculating the time that would be taken by each of the various vehicles to reach the path intended to be followed to cross over, adjusting dynamically our speed and all that, so that we know human beings not only do not follow the above precise method, but cannot follow the above precise method. We, the human beings, rather feel comfortable with fuzziness than precision. We feel comfortable if the instruction for crossing a road is given as follows. Look on both sides, left hand and right hand side, particularly in the beginning to your right, and if there is no vehicle within the reasonable distance, then attempt to cross the road. You may have to retreat back while crossing for somewhere on the road, then try again, and so on and so forth. So the above instruction has a number of words like left, right. It may 45 degree to right and 90 degree to the right. So that's the type of thing. Let's consider as an example of being comfortable with imprecision than precision. The statement, the sky is densely clouded, is more comprehensive to human being than the statement, the cloud cover of the sky is 93.5%. This is because the fact we, the human beings, are still better than computer in qualitative reasoning, because better qualitative reasoning capability. Just by looking at the eyes only and nose only, we may recognize a person. Just by taking and feeling a small number of grains from cooking rice ball, we can tell whether the rice is properly cooked or not. Just by looking at few buildings, we can identify a locality or a city. So that type of thing which is important there. In order the computer actively human capability is solving such problem, computer must be able to solve problem for each only incomplete or imprecise. So modeling of situation from knowledge उसमें जो आप बताया था मैंने कि 0 to 1 में लेके तो आप बता रहे हैं. So this is summarize it जैसे we conclude. We, the human being, sense problem, desire the problem to solve. We use computer to solve the problem because their execution power, computer function better when the information is given to the computer in terms of mathematical entity in order to meet mutually the imprecision of natural language with which the human is. So fuzzy system was done by Zadeh. Zadeh, he is no more at the moment. Zadeh started, he wrote a paper. It was not being accepted. Then he sent a paper where he was known to the management of this journal. It was published. When it was published, there were so many more papers came up in that he became very famous. But at that time, it was not being used for AI, but later it was implemented AM also. So a precise statement is formed if income is more than 2.5 lakh, then tax is 10% of the taxable income. If imprecise statement may be of the form, if the forecast about the rain being slightly less than the previous year is believed, then there is around 30% probability that the economy may suffer heavily. The concept of fuzzy, which when applied as a prefix adjective to the mathematical entity set, that so crisp relation, fuzzy set relations, and all that. So, for example, in any text, we say a male adult is definitely tall if his height is greater than 6 feet. Not at all tall if height is less than 5 feet. If his height is 5 feet 2 inches, a little bit tall. If height is 5 feet 6 inches, slightly tall. If height is 5 feet, reasonably tall. Next step is to model definitely tall, not at all tall, little bit tall, slightly tall. How do we put mathematically? So there is a between 0 and 1. Definitely tall may be represented by tallness having value 1. Not at all tall may be represented by tallness having value 0. A little bit tall may be represented by 0.2. Slightly tall may be represented by 0.4 and 0.7 and so on. जैसे मैंने बताया खलील कैन बी 1, I can be 0.8, somebody who is 6 feet can be 0.8589, something like that. So that's why I say set tall person in the organization is Sohon. So that's, for example, say tall is Mohan oblique 0.2. He is little this. Sohon is 1. John is 0.7. Abdul is 0. Abraham 0.4. So the value 0.2, 0.21704 are called membership value or degree. Those elements which have value 0 may be dropped. For example, tall may be written as tall, Mohan 0.2, Sohan 1, John this, Abraham 4, neglecting Abdul with associated degree 0. So Mohan 0.8, Sohan 0, John, so on and so forth. This is the equality of two sets. And then all the set theories are subset and all that belong to a member and all these things. Subset. Mohan 0.2, Sohan 1, John 0.7, Ibrahim this, the A, B, C. Now, which is subset of this? For example, A has Mohan, Sohan, John, Ibrahim. Mohan, Sohan, John, Ibrahim, and it's a it's a Mohan, Sohan, John, Ibrahim. In view of the fact that for each element degree in A is greater than or equal to degree in B, B is subset of A, donated by B is subset of A. So B is subset of A because इसमें ये 0.2 है, ये 0.9, ये 1 था, ये 0.6 है, 0.7 था, 0.4 था. However, degree Mohan is 0.3. ये Mohan 0.3 बढ़ गया है, इसलिए in C and degree Mohan is 0.2 in A, therefore C is not subset of A. C is therefore not subset of A because इसकी जो degree है 0.3 is more than 0.2. So it is not subset of A. So that is the way it is calculated, such degree of membership and all that. So degree of education PhD holder is 1, degree of education master degree is 0.85, bachelor degree 0.6 and so on. So that's where again the same way you can find out subsets and subsets. For the set representation, let X is equal to X1 this, A is equal to this, and B is equal to this, A and B. A or B is this, A and B is this, because A and B is में A and B में X2, X3, X4, X5, X1, X3, X5. इसमें सिर्फ X5 इसमें कॉमन है, तो X5 and X3 कॉमन है, so it is X5. A and B is X3, X5, A or B, तो सारे आ जाते हैं. So that's the type of thing which you can. join of two fuzzy sets, union of two fuzzy sets, and all that. Yes, are A or B, B or A. The A or B is equal to B or A and B is equal to B and U, A. So that type of thing, which are the double complete and this, sorry, the दियो है formula दियो है dilation opposite of concentration. So these are the formulae given. Relation of fuzzy relations. Fuzzy relations क्या है? For example, we define the relation uncle as follows: X is uncle of Y with degree 1 if X is brother of mother or father. X is uncle of Y with degree 0.7. X is brother of an uncle of Y and X is not covered above. X is uncle of Y with degree 6 if X is son of an uncle of mother or father, so on and so forth. So these are the various things. So Ram fuzzy graph बन जाता है. Majid, Peter, Abdul, John, Mon, Ram. So that type of thing, which fuzzy reasoning आ जाता है, non-monotonic reasoning system. So that you can go through. This is knowledge base. This is the retrieval and introduction are taken care of TMS if I is completely relieved of this first order knowledge base. TMS, truth maintenance system, inference engine. Inference engine, truth maintenance system, knowledge base. This is the reasoning for this. Bird X, this and all this. Closed word assumption. इस पर भी क्वेश्चन आ जाता है. Fuzzy inference, rough set theory, वो भी हमने करा है. So you can see that we compared the rough set theory and fuzzy theory. So that's what we can. That covers up the last chapter. So that so this complete the today's lecture. आप फजी को दोबारा देख लीजिए. You can read from your book and compare what I had given in the PPT with the simpler examples, and then follow the various constraints, all these things. So is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Oh, okay, sir.
All the best. So read it carefully, and you have a full 1 week. There are 5 days. Read it, and then we'll go for the next season. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.